Yeah, I have a rule with Twister
Uh-huh.
that I don't watch it anymore because every time, I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, every time I've watched the movie from beginning to end, there's a
Uh-huh.
tornado in my city. Every single time.
That's
I don't do this on purpose. Jeremy, the last time, you remember this, you'll remember the first time I watched Twister, the very first time.
97.
Yes. Where tornadoes ripped through Philadelphia.
Welcome to the Dastardly Dingoes Podcast, a show that celebrates all things nerdy. You'll get an insider's look into the world of comic books, graphic novels, TV and film, gaming and pop culture, as well as the technologies that drive all of it. Now, are you ready to get nerdy?
Welcome to the Dastardly Dingoes Podcast, the show that celebrates all things nerdy. We talk about video games, movies, and comic books, and the current events and what we're watching. So, I'm your host, Brian.
I am also your host, Jeremy.
And I'm Luke, a guest,
Hi, Luke.
not Justin.
Hi down there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, like we mentioned before, Justin is no longer with the podcast, but we're going to have a great lineup of people coming on and sharing about the things that make them who they are. So we're excited. Luke is a big gamer. He's got a Twitch channel, and I've been on there several times and seems to have a lot of fun.
So, Luke, we're going to do the thing that we're going to do every episode with different guests is we are going to do a little segment called Get to Know Your Dingoes. Because if you're on this show, you're an honorary dingo, no matter how long you're with us. So we have just a couple questions for you, something we're going to ask everybody. Yeah. So the first one is, what kind of nerd are you? Exactly.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I feel like I fall into a bunch of the categories. I'm a big tech nerd. That's actually how I got to know Woody here in the audio universe. But I'm a huge MCU fan. I like most comic books. Spiderman's my favorite superhero. I'm into movies, games. I play a lot of video games, obviously, because you guys know I'm on Twitch right now. So yeah, I kind of fall into all those categories there.
Another thing that we need to ask is, what is your top 5? What are your top 5 movies? We'll start there.
Yeah.
Of all time.
So you sent me some show notes and kind of allowed me to prepare for this, and I still only came up with 4.
That's fine.
But I can, and I think this is kind of what this is a question that everyone gets asked, where it's like, oh, you like movies? Like, what's your top 5 favorite movies? And it's so hard to do that. There's so many different kinds of movies. I could come up with...
It's like a 15-way tie for number 1.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I look at it, I've started looking at it as like watchability and like how many times I've watched it.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my number 1, it's kind of a shocker even to me, but my number 1 favorite movie, I would say, is Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay. I saw that in the show notes, and I was like, Iron Man 1. All right.
It's really unique. I watch that at least once a month, at least a dozen times a year.
Okay.
It just it's so rewatchable.
Mm-hmm.
And I love digging into the story and the kind of, not the story of the movie, but the story behind the movie of how Marvel, they started their own their own production company, basically, so they could launch this movie, because no one would pick up Iron Man because he was such a B-list superhero. And so no one would pick it up. So Marvel created their own studio, and in a funny way, they're an independent film producer. And so Iron Man 1 was technically an indie film. So it just has a really cool story. Jon Favreau is
a genius.
I feel like he's the modern day George Lucas. He's a legend. If I could meet any celebrity, it'd probably be him, because he acts, he directs, he writes.
He was
fantastic.
on Friends.
He was on Friends.
He was on Friends for like half a season too. Like he
Yeah,
wasn't just a cameo; he was a recurring
Yeah.
character.
And he
What was
wanted
he,
to be an
Monica's boyfriend?
yeah. He was a really rich guy that decided he wanted to be a UFC fighter,
That's right.
and he was very terrible at it. He kept getting beat up.
Yeah, so I mean that's some reasons why I like Iron Man so much. Just other than just being able to watch it over and over again. It's got a great soundtrack. It's got great actors, and it does have a good story, and it a lot of good explosions. So
That's the one with Lebowski in it, right?
Yeah.
He's in the first one.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bridges.
Mhm.
yeah,
Which is funny because then they went and did Thorbowski,
Mm.
and he referenced in Endgame.
oh yeah,
You remember that
Mhm.
movie that happened? You don't know what
I
we're
don't
talking
remember
about?
them.
Endgame.
What
Where
game?
Thor was this. Shut up! I hate you. No, then they went and did like the whole reference to Lebowski, which it's like so if the Big
I see what you're
Lebowski
saying.
exists in the Marvel universe, then Jeff Bridges is in that movie.
Yeah,
The dude.
So like, how does that happen? Or is this
That
like you
happened
guys remember
somewhere
that?
else.
Well, do you guys
Yeah.
remember that movie, The Last Action Hero?
Yeah.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, what if in the MCU somebody else played the dude?
Yeah,
Like how Stallone was the Terminator in The Last Action Hero.
yeah.
So sorry, Luke. This is what
No,
we
that's
do,
good.
man. This is where
Hey.
my mind goes. I'm just like, what if this?
No,
is
I
the
like
thing? It's nobody cares.
Yeah, I've heard that there are several references to Lebowski in the Marvel,
Oh yeah,
like crazy Easter eggs. Like somebody saw on an invoice one time, there was like a line that said that it really tied the room together, or like it was
Yeah.
one rug that really tied the room together. It like who decides to do that? I mean, that's so weird.
Weirdos who direct them.
Yeah,
and write
nerds.
the movies. That's
Nerds do that.
Nerds do that. Yeah. Who
Um,
sits here and thinks about, well, if Jeff Bridges is in this movie universe, then who's playing him in the movie they reference that Jeff Bridges stars in?
Right.
Right. Yeah. Like this is the whole purpose of why we're here.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah. I'm watching through Psych right now. Again, that's probably my top favorite TV show. But they do that all the time in their episodes. They'll have like guest characters on, and they'll reference like the movies that they were in.
Yeah.
Or like Gus is Dule Hill, and they talk about like Holes all the time, like the movie Holes with Shia LaBeouf.
yeah.
And so
Sarah and I actually started watching Psych for the first time. Neither of us have.
oh man, it's real.
Yeah.
good,
I've never
dude.
seen it either, actually.
Ooh, it's my favorite. I'll throw that in as my fifth favorite movie because they do have a movie.
They do have a movie. That's
They have
right.
a second one coming. But get to the end of season. Like, now I'm going off on a tangent. Season 3, like the season finale, is like one of my favorite episodes of all television.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I'm like coming out big here, guys.
Yeah, you are, man.
Iron Man 1's my all-time favorite movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We just watched last night the episode. This is towards the beginning where Gus, his uncle, is in town, who he's
Mhm.
named after, and
Yeah.
they pretend that he's the one that's the psychic.
hmm
So I don't know where that is, like what season or whatever, but I know it's towards the beginning.
It's either late season 1 or early season 2.
Yep.
I can't remember either, even though I probably just watched that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So all right, Luke. So Iron Man 1 is your first pick. So what's
Yeah.
next?
After that, I had the original Star Wars trilogy because I can't just pick one. I like them all.
Okay.
If I had to pick one, it would be Empire Strikes Back. I think that's kind of everyone's favorite of
Well
the
done.
original trilogy.
Yeah.
It has the ice cream maker guy in Cloud City, everyone's favorite guy. I grew up on Star Wars. My dad, I remember watching it with him like when I was young. I've always just known it. I've always got the I am your father jokes because my name's Luke and all that stuff. So that was in there. Where was I? And then I had Die Hard in there. I like a lot of the old like 70s and late 70s. So like Star Wars fits in there, and 80s movies and 90s movies, like early 90s. So I think Die Hard was early 90s. Or no.
No, I think Die Hard was like mid to late 80s. Something like that. Yeah.
Late 80s.
So I have Die Hard in there. Classic. The first one, you can't beat it. Greatest Christmas movie.
Yep.
And then Back to the Future was like, directly after that. The first one is gold. Second one was all right. I enjoy it. Third one was really good.
Awesome.
Like, my wife has never seen them, and I feel like I'm failing as a husband still.
Sarah hasn't seen them either. It's so frustrating.
Good. I'm not alone.
Yeah, I think the first one at least is on Netflix right now.
Yeah, I think it is. I think maybe the first two are on Netflix. I don't know. But yeah, I know at least
such a killer soundtrack.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Yes.
Power of Love.
Yeah. I think all of my movies, they have a killer soundtrack too. And then I'll throw in, I did think of like number 5. I was browsing through Netflix yesterday, and I like some of these like older, like 90s, like obscure movies. And I was scrolling through Netflix, and I noticed Twister is on Netflix now. Like, I love that
good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Also a great soundtrack. And then Air Force One is on Netflix, and I'm like, that's another great, like, just, it's not a classic, because I don't think it ever made it, like, huge or anything, but, like, I just remember those movies just being so good.
Yeah, I have a rule with Twister that I don't watch it anymore, because every time, I'm not kidding, I'm not exaggerating, every time I've watched the movie from beginning to end, there's a tornado in my city. Every single time. I don't do this on purpose. Jeremy, the last time, you remember this, you'll remember the first time I watched Twister, the very first time.
97?
Yes. Where tornadoes ripped through Bullitt County.
Yeah. Wow.
Like, tore up half of it. And so, like, then the next time, I waited a while, and then the next time I watched it, there wasn't, like, a tornado that bad. But there was a tornado again. There were tornado warning sirens went off. It's like, I'm done. I'm retired. It's a great movie. I love that movie. I will never watch it again.
What if you watched it in a different city?
Nope. Because there will be some weird weather anomaly, and we will have a tornado.
But would it be where you are or in this city? Would it be
in the city? See, it's not me. I've not been directly affected in any of these scenarios. It's for the good of others. That's why I don't watch this movie.
Fair enough.
That's why
it could happen anywhere.
Exactly.
Philip Seymour Hoffman is just so incredible in that movie.
He's so good in that movie. For the longest time, I had no idea that was him. Yeah. Like, it just didn't. I didn't. You know how, like, you see like an actor, in his early career or her early career, and then moving on later, you're like, wait a minute, that's the same person.
Yeah.
What movie was it? Never mind. If I remember it, I'll come back to it. We have more important things to do.
Yep.
So Luke, all right. Yeah. So what about? So I know you had some top 5 games that you would love to play. So lay it on me, buddy.
So since I'm a gamer, I had in there, and I didn't include like some of the classics. Like, I didn't include what's it called now? Oregon Trail, because I mean, come on. I love that game, but it didn't make the list.
Have you played the card game?
No, I haven't.
What?
It's just like, it's so much fun. It's just like the computer game. Like, it's just you draw a card. It's all chance. You just draw a card and do whatever it says.
I love card games.
75% of the 75% of the cards are dysentery.
Yeah, exactly. Or snake bite. That's a big one. I've died of snake bite like 5 times when I've played it. So
yeah. So I mean, there's so many I could have included in there, like Mega Man and stuff. But I had Halo was my number 1, because I think that's what just got me really into like the competitive aspect of it, and that's when I was like old enough to like we were having like LAN parties and stuff.
Yes.
Old school
Yeah.
LAN parties. People would bring their huge tube TVs to their friend's house.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's where my gaming ended.
Okay.
Because when I played Halo 2,
Yeah.
everyone else had gotten, because I didn't have an Xbox.
Yeah.
When Halo 1 came out, I was over at friends' house all the time, like playing on theirs, so I was pretty good at it. By the time 2 came out, everyone had been playing so much more than me, and it was just not fun. I was like spawning and then immediately dead.
Yeah.
Just
I remember sorry, there's my cough. I remember a specific moment. Like, I know whose house we were in, or it was an apartment. I remember everything. I remember the TV, but I was driving a Warthog. My buddy was like in the gunner, and we were just tearing it up. We were playing on Blood Gulch. We were just tearing it up. Playing, it was King of the Hill. So we were on blue team. The whole red team was like in the hill, and I just like did a donut and like swerved right through, plowed through their whole team, and like got a team wipe in like sixth grade, and it was like the best day of my life. It was hilarious.
One instance I remember of that game, I think it was a similar situation. It was the same level too, but you know how some people would like back up the tank on one of the sides, and they could hit the other building like all the way across.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just like, boom, boom, like as fast as they could do it, hitting our base. And I just got so frustrated with it. I did peek at their screen.
Oh yeah.
And we were playing with infinite plasma grenades. So I kept like going up higher and higher and higher because the physics were so stupid on that game. And I ended up throwing a plasma grenade, and I watched the screen and I saw it like, like right to his face. It was so good. It was so great.
Screen peeking was definitely one, like a part of the game. You had to.
Yep.
We did set it up at times, like in other, like one TV would be in the living room, and the other one would be in like the bedroom.
Yeah.
We'd do that. But if you were good at screen peeking, like you got really good at like you were just raking in all the kills.
Yeah.
Cool. Next on my list there, I have Spiderman, like the new PS4 one, which actually shocked me how much I liked it. I don't really play RPGs that much, let alone 3 times like I did with that game. And I plan to play it again on stream. It was just so good. Great story, great mechanics. Like you feel like Spider-Man.
That's cool.
So
nice. Yeah, I've always like I my last console that I had was a PS3. And then I started making comics and have zero time.
Exactly.
for
Totally.
However, recently I have been playing. I've been playing a game. We'll talk about that later. And it's exciting to actually play video. I haven't played in like 6 years, 6 or 7 years, and so it's pretty fun. But that game, Spider-Man, like that made me almost get up and go buy a PS4 like immediately. When I saw the trailer, I was like, I need this in my life because it looks so awesome. Like, is it pretty much like free roam? Like you can do whatever you want as Spider-Man?
Yeah, for them, like in Manhattan, you've got. I mean, it's obviously like a shrunk down version, but I rarely used fast travel because it's so fun to just swing around, and you use the things around you. You can just swing normally, but you can slingshot yourself through the legs of this water tower that's on top of a building, and like it's really fun. Yeah.
Oh, I loved playing Arkham City for the same reason.
Mm-hmm. It's Arkham City, but
Spider-Man.
Yep.
Oh, it's so cool. Nice.
I was cracking up.
Oh, go ahead.
Part of streaming on Twitch, like I try to join other people's streams and just make connections and stuff. One guy was playing Arkham City, and it was just cracking me up that like Batman, like he goes into a building and he like I'm watching him like fight these bad guys, and then to get to the next room, Batman just like grabs the door, like walks through just like normal. It just like it just caught me off guard. I've never noticed that before, but I'm like, anyone else, like take Spiderman. He's crawling on the walls and on the ceiling and like doing all those stuff, but Batman has to walk through. He like loses all his like abilities when he walks through a door.
He like jiggles the handle and it's locked, and he's like, "Oh shoot!" and pulls out like a
Yeah,
big ring of
like,
keys. Like,
yeah, great game.
Cool. Yeah. So what else is on the list? Because that was two.
Those are probably my two like favorite ones, and then I kind of just went in ones I have it in heavy rotation right now because just the playability, it's so fun. One of them's Apex Legends. It's one of those battle royale games. You drop in, you're trying to be the final team or the final one standing out of like 100 people. But this one, it has like heroes. So each hero or each champion that you play as like has different abilities. So one guy's got like a zip line. He can like, tether and zip different places. One guy's got like a speed boost and like healing. So like everyone plays different. I like that. It's really fun, especially with friends. I have Sea of Thieves in there, which is Rare's latest game, which they haven't made a game in a very long time. They made like Banjo-Kazooie and all those like crazy.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah.
I remember that game. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, they came out, I think a year or two ago, made Sea of Thieves. You're just a pirate. They throw you in this open world and you can bump into other people playing and blow up their ship or, steal their treasure, be a pirate. So we just played that last night on stream and it was a blast. I have Legend of Zelda in there. At first I put Legend of Zelda, so I guess this could fit into the like classic games.
Yeah. So like the very first one.
Well,
no.
I've played almost all of them, like including like the like obscure ones, like Four Swords on the GameCube. Like no one ever really played that one. I don't think it did very well. But like I played Ocarina of Time and like all those. But I specifically put Twilight Princess because that's another one I played multiple times, and I just like the graphics of that one. They
that
really
one was
like
on the one for the Wii, right?
That one came out on the Wii first. Yes.
Yeah. I think I played most of that one. Can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like the story of that one. And just they brought it up to, the modern graphics at the time, and it was just kind of mind blowing for me. So
that's cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah. I have a wide variety of stuff I dabble in.
Yeah. I was glad to see on your movie list, like not necessarily nerdy movies.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people are just like all of the Marvel movies. But Die Hard, Back to the Future, like those big budget 80s and 90s movies.
Yeah.
I love them.
And there's so many more too. Like I could, I like a ton of movies. Like you said, we could break those out. Like, all right, top 5 Marvel movies, because there's like 28 of them now. Like stuff like that. But yeah, I had a pretty good mix. I think I redeemed myself by saying Iron Man was my favorite.
Yeah.
Why don't we jump into your Twitch channel stuff, right? So how long have you been doing that?
Oh man, okay. So recently, I've only been doing it for like 2 or 3 months now. But I like got into it like I tried getting into it like 5 years ago. I just booted it up, tried playing a surviving Mars game, and like 2 people would show up and not talk to me, and so it's just real awkward as I'm like talking to myself and killing people on Mars by accident because they're run out of oxygen or something.
So is that how it is most of the time? Like you'll just get on and you'll play, because I have a couple friends that do that too. You'll just get on and play, and like whoever shows up, you'll just talk.
I mean that's kind of how I started. In real life, IRL, I'm a marketing guy now, so
okay.
I have that mindset of like, all right, how can I like promote myself, market myself and get people to know about me? So I have like, a Twitter, and I'm like plugged into a bunch of different communities. Are you guys familiar with Discord?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm like in a ton of like different Discord communities of just like people with common interests. And so that's kind of where I started to meet people and connect with people and like grow there. And I tuned into their streams. They started tuning into mine, but then like just meeting other people like randomly. So once you get a few people like in your stream, then you're kind of bumped up on the list. So, you know, if you have 12 viewers, you're going to have more of a chance of someone seeing you than if you had one viewer, like down at the bottom of the list, basically. So, and then it's just having a variety of games to where just random people will be searching for their favorite game. Like I was playing Hollow Knight and a bunch of people was just like, hey, this is my favorite game. I saw you were like towards the top, you know, like I just tuned in. Like, nice. Oh, cool. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from France. Like, oh, cool.
Neat. That's so cool, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I started out where, you know, it was like just Woody in my chat and he's not talking to me. But
such a good friend.
I'm there creepily staring at it.
I feel like that's like this is you from the shadows. Just
yeah, exactly. That's what I see. But now it's like last night I streamed and it was an abnormal night last night where I peaked at 24 views at once. At one time, there were 24 people in there just watching me be a dumb pirate and accidentally light my teammates on fire.
Neat.
But yeah, it started out awkward with one person or two people, but you start to grow, meet people, and get a common, you know, like community showing back up that look forward to you. And so then I have my own Discord where I put out announcements and stuff. So I'm constantly like putting out like on Twitter, here's a funny GIF of a cat dressed like a pirate. I'm gonna.
You triggered him. You triggered Jeremy. You can't say
GIF/GIF.
Oh, it's too late. Look at him. Look at how red he's getting. Look at that, man. Look, he's just steaming. Look at him.
The best part is I knew about this ahead of time.
Oh yes, even better.
But I'll try to grab people's attention. Basically, that's all I'm trying to say.
Okay, yeah, and that's the thing. Like with any kind, especially like social media, if you're trying to do anything, that's the key, man. That's where all the networking is. That's where all the that's the marketplace now. You know, that's where everybody congregates. That if you are doing any kind of independent anything, you got to have a presence, or it's it's very difficult to get anything going.
Yeah, so you can just boot up and play a game, and have Woody just hop into your stream and that's it. Or you can, throw out announcements in several different pages. And
cool, man. So where can we find you? What's my
gamer tag is Frostbite4, but it's Frostbite one word with a Y instead of an I, because that's cool. And
ooh, look at you changing it up.
Techie. And then it's a Roman numeral 4, so IV. So cool. Frostbite with a Y, no space, IV.
Right, that's not complicated. That's cool.
Frostbite was taken, so like I had to add something to it, But
yeah, that's better than my like Instagram tag. Yeah. It's B Rodman with an underscore and then comics with an X, because I'm trying to be cool.
Yeah, no, that's really
cool. So yeah,
I'm on.
It's hardcore.
It is, man. You don't mess with me. I have an X.
Yeah, you can find put that in Google and you should be able to find me. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, all those things.
So they're all the same. They're all the same handle.
Yes, that is the nice thing. Is no one else.
That's nice.
Has that.
That's like the first thing that I look for whenever I'm starting like I started my own business, or when we did Dastardly Dingoes, it's like, okay, go to Facebook, go to Instagram, go to Twitter, figure out, does somebody else already have this name?
Yeah,
because it's so much harder when you have to say, well, on Twitch it's this, and on Twitter it's this, and
yeah, I'd love to see you guys or anyone else listening just hop in chat. It's like I started it just to kind of create like a cool, positive place to hang out. And like, I'm not the best video game player. I'm no ninja. Like, I'm not, killing all the dudes.
A lot of time. That's not what it's really about.
Right. Exactly.
It's just about getting on, hanging out, and watching somebody, play. It works if you're super bad at it too. Because people can just sit there and enjoy.
There's one guy I connected with. He streams, and his every title is Matt plays games poorly. He doesn't hide it.
Oh, that's awesome. Now he can't get good. because I feel like he already,
Yeah.
or then
Well,
I guess it just becomes ironic.
Well, and it doesn't
No, it
even it doesn't really even have to be like video games anymore. Like I remember watching a guy's Twitch stream where he was playing Master of Puppets on the drums. Only
Nice.
every time they said master, it got faster. And so he starts off, he's playing the song, and then all of a sudden it's like, like going absolutely nuts because they say that so often. And
Yeah. And like I have friends who they just draw. That's a good thing, big thing too. Like I'll probably jump on there eventually once I get everything set up with cameras and stuff. But like a few buddies of mine, they'll just draw on Twitch and
I think that just really helps other people. I've met a few artists who they were playing a game, but then on the weekends they do art streams where they're just one guy's drawing a comic and we're watching him do that.
That's cool. I love. I will literally like at night. That's like the thing that like really gets me like calm down. I'll just sit there and I'll just watch somebody draw.
Yeah.
For however long it takes.
Yeah.
and it's great, man.
That's cool.
Look, dude. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say Twitch. It's not just watching a video. It's like you're interacting with the guy. So it's like he's asking for input. He's like, "Hey, how do these eyes look?" Like as he's drawing a character.
Oh, cool.
And people are like, "Oh, I think like it looks great," or or he'll get good feedback. And so it's a really cool thing to just get more people connected and involved. Oh,
for sure, man. Like I have, I have the same kind of thing going on Facebook. It just kind of that's where it landed. It's just kind of a crapshoot with all the social media, outlets we have. Which one sticks and which ones don't. And so I utilize Facebook Live a lot. Whenever I do that kind of stuff, and I love it. I love just interacting with people while I'm drawing. Woody, you got anything before we wrap this guy up?
Well, yeah, I wanted to say so now we're releasing these videos on video as well. So you'll probably be seeing this on Facebook or on YouTube or things like that. You can follow us at Dingoes Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And if this is on YouTube, we would love for you to subscribe and click the bell to get notifications. Yep. Smash that like button. That's what all the YouTubers say.
Smash that like button.
Yeah. And we'll see you next time.
Yep. Thanks guys. Thanks for coming, Luke. You were great.
Yeah.
And we will definitely have you back on, man.
Awesome. I had fun. Thanks for having me.
No problem. See ya.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye.